So you guys, yeah, I'm late on the Amber stuff. Yeah. So I tried to watch her live stream. I think I got like 30 minutes in and I was so infuriated, you guys. I was so infuriated. And I had to stop watching it. I was like, I need to walk away from this. And then I watched it through Jordy. It was like, it's so much better through the buffer because he had the same anger as I was feeling. It's like, phew, I can do this. So what I did is I took a couple of clips from Jordy and I want to expand from that. But yeah, that live stream was Amber, my dude. That was not a way to go. That was not a way to go. But you went in, you got your cash. I don't blame you for that. You got your cash. But yeah, the live stream was absolutely insane.
Bank account. Their bank account. I'm sorry, I'm getting really, really flustered. My apologies. So it was originally their bank account. And when we got together, I ended up going on their bank account together. So we were joint bank accounts. So any money that
And you guys, the other thing is, I was thinking this before Jody says anything. I was thinking this, like, so when you were with Crystal, were you wait, you didn't really work, so you didn't really have a bank account. What a mess. So when she was with Destiny, we know the beginning of the relationship, Amber did not work. She started out at that nursing home. She was a volunteer. She was not a hired worker. She was a volunteer and she couldn't leave Destiny alone. She always had to be where Destiny was at. So when she finally got hired at that nursing home, why didn't she open up her own bank account? Make it make sense. I did not understand this train of thought at all. It made absolutely no sense that this woman didn't have her own bank account. It makes no sense. Make it make sense.
either of us both received went into one full-fledged one area.
Before she gets any further into this story, I want to talk about why this is and what my theory is. So Amber Lynn just said that when they got into a relationship, Amber Lynn got on their bank account. The only way that Amber Lynn makes money is through AdSense. And the way that you get paid through AdSense is through direct deposit. So you go into your AdSense account through YouTube, you type in your routing number, you type in your accounting number, and then whatever bank that you link to your AdSense, that's what you get your direct deposit through on the 21st of every month. Amber Lynn was too lazy to set up her own bank account. She did.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, so even when she was with Destiny, that's when she started making really good money on YouTube. When she moved to Kentucky with Destiny to stay with her mom. Instead of going out and getting a bank account, she just linked in Destiny's bank account. I mean, she is so freaking lucky that these people were honest because somebody could have easily cleaned her out. It makes no sense. Make this shit make sense. I don't get it.
Didn't want to take the time to go to a physical bank, set up an account, get a card, talk to someone face to face. So, you know what she did? She said, "Oh, well, let me just have my direct deposits go into your already established bank account." I guarantee this is the way that it went down. Amber Lynn was too fucking lazy to take her ass to a bank, so she just said, "Oh, well, Beck, give me your debit card. Let me see your, oh, you already have a banking app on your phone? Okay, look up the accounting number and look up the routing number and then text it to me and I'll put it in my AdSense." All the money would go into Beck's account. That's how she would get paid.
And while Jody was saying that, I was thinking about something. Why couldn't she just open her own bank account online? Because even when I moved my banks, all I did was just open a different account in a different bank online. Why couldn't she just do that? Because, well, I guess if she needed that card right away, she would have to go in person. But why didn't she just do it and go in person? Like, it's not like she was doing anything important all day. Come on, like, whatever.
Too lazy to set up her own bank account. Because otherwise, why would you do it that way? Why would you opt to have a joint bank account with someone you just got into a relationship with? Convenience. She's lazy. She's lazy. She didn't want to go set up her own bank account. So she was like, well, I'll just have it go into Beck's.
Yeah. In a recent...
She had a joint account with Destiny too. Probably the same thing. Well, this is how I did it with Destiny. I just had all the money go into Destiny's account. Destiny already had a bank account, so I just used Destiny's accounting and routing numbers. It all went into Destiny's account. You know what? Let me do it with Beck too. Here, give me your card. Give me your card. Let me set it up that way. Guarantee her ass was just too lazy to go to a bank.
And again, like I said, she is so lucky in that aspect that Beck and Destiny were honest, because Lord Ember, you lucked out, man. You lucked out that nobody cleaned your ass out. Honestly, I think Beck, when she left, for all that she did for this woman, she should have, like, she's owed so much money by this woman because she keeps on saying that she was her employee. She is so lucky. Back if it was anybody else or any of us, honey, we would have cleaned her out. Like, well, this is my payment. Thank you very much. And peace out. But, you know, she only left with $100 in her pocket.
I don't know if it was video, live stream, I forget what it was. Beck said how they didn't even have the means to look at the bank to see how much money was in there, that they had to use my debit card, that I had my own...
Okay, what she's doing right here is manipulative. The first half of the stream she was trying to avoid was acknowledging that, yes, they had a joint bank account. After a little bit, Amber went on and opened up her own account, which Beck says is a secret account, her own account where everything that Amber earned got deposited in. So, yes, Beck did not know how much was in the account. Down the road, she did not know because Amber had a separate account. When they had joined bank account, yes, Beck was aware about how much money was in there. But after she moved all that money and got her own bank account through Beck, then Beck did not know. But she's intentionally being deceitful right here.
Well, it was technically your debit card because you were the only one making money. The only money going into that account was the money that you got from YouTube the 21st of every month. So while it was Beck's name on the account, you were the breadwinner and you were the one controlling all the money. So that's why people in the audience are saying shit like financial manipulation. Even though it was Beck's account and Beck had access to the account, anything that Beck would have bought, you would have known about. And if Beck bought something that you didn't agree with, you would have been the first person to bitch about it.
Ugh, I'm so glad I didn't do it. I was going to clip that part out. I'm glad I didn't because it reminded me of this part. Also, Beck said every time she bought something or did errands for Amber to pick up her fast foods or whatever, she always brought back the receipts. Even though Amber could see what was spent, she still wanted to make sure, so Beck had to bring back the receipts. So what the hell is she talking about?
Own private thing. Those are not true statements. I have a screenshot. I was not able to get into the bank ever. I have so many screenshots of wondering, how much did I get paid? I would text Becky.
So you were...
Hold up, wait a minute. So she said she couldn't log into the account. Yeah, it was Beck's bank account. But the bank sent you your own card. Like, what is she talking about? So she wasn't keeping track of how much money she was spending. Damn, she must be making that good money then. That she wasn't concerned about how much money she was. You guys, she is doing this mental word salad, mental gymnastics to confuse people. All she did was piss off a lot of people. Including myself. Like, that's why I was like, I'm not going to be able to watch this whole stream by itself. I need a buffer. Jeez.
Even too lazy to look at your YouTube studio. I have so many screenshots asking Beck, how much should I get paid this month? So you were so lazy that you couldn't even click on your YouTube studio because it tells you in there. It tells you exactly how much you get paid every month.
You guys, this whole thing is so insane. if you look at it as a whole, the whole entire thing is so insane in itself. And then for her to sit there with a whole chest saying all this, not realizing how ridiculous she sounds, is even more fascinating. And I was telling my parents about this whole thing. They were like, wait, what? I kind of like got them hooked a little bit on the Fat Girls drama, especially the Amber Lynn one right now. They're like, no, we don't want to watch it. We just like your recaps. Just, give us the rundown of what happened this time. They could not believe it either. They could not believe it. I mean, Amber, thank you for the content. Thank you for the content. But this whole entire thing, you guys, is absolutely berserk.
You don't even have to go into AdSense. You don't even have to look at your direct deposits and your bank statements. It'll tell you in your little YouTube studio thing. Look, I asked Beck because she didn't have the username and the password to log into the banking. She didn't care. It was out of sight, out of mind. If I need something, I'll just charge it to the card.
And literally,
this is your fucking fault for not setting up your own bank account. This is highly irresponsible of you. I mean, you get in a relationship with someone and you have all your money go into their account.
Yeah, this whole thing is insane. And then the way she made Beck get in a relationship with her is absolutely insane. So how long was it after she met Beck? She was like, hey, that bank account? Put me in your bank account so I can get my $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 paychecks deposited in your account. You see how insane this is? Again, I'm going to keep on saying this. You are lucky that Beck and Destiny are not like some people, because especially Beck, girl, if it was any of us and you treated us the way you treated Beck, you best believe if I was in Beck's position, honey, I'm sorry, you owe me cash. So, well, at that point, it really Beck didn't have access to a bank account. But no, Amber would send her out with her bank card even when they were breaking up before Feline was on her way in. She is so lucky, because anybody else would have been like, nah, I'm owed cash here. I'm gonna need some cash. I need my payments. Let me help you by helping myself. Let me help you help me. I'm gonna help myself to some cash that I'm owed. She is so lucky.
I'd be like, how much did I get paid, et cetera, et cetera. And Beck would literally send me screenshots of our bank. So I have everything crossed off. That's like personal information, but this is just proof that that was a lie from Beck. And
Amber, your story is so ridiculous. Clearly, you're doing a terrible job of covering your tracks. I'm sorry. The only thing that's lying is that big fat blob that's sitting on that couch. You're lying. You're the one sitting there lying with your whole chest. And I'm sorry to tell you, honey, again, this live stream did nothing to help you. Did absolutely nothing to help you. And another thing, before I forget, do you guys remember how it was a while back? I think it was like last year when Beck came out then with some other stories about Amber, where they said that Amber used to hit up the ATMs that much within one day, that she was withdrawing that much money, that she would actually have to go in on person because maybe they thought her card was stolen. Because it's like, dear Lord, how much was she taking out at the time? And that's the other thing. Aside from food, what was she spending the money on? Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Absolute lie. I said, how much money is in the bank? And here's a screenshot that says, hi, Rebecca, like, et cetera, showing how much money we had in the bank, because I was not able to get into it. I was never able to see how much.
Because you were too fucking lazy. I was never able to log in. I never had the portal password. You think it's because Beck was holding this from you? Well, then take a little initiative into your finances and find out your username and password. First of all, don't have your AdSense direct deposits go into someone else's bank account because you're too fucking lazy to set up your own. How about that?
Exactly, Jody. That part. That part. All she's doing right now is crying about not being able to access the portal. This is what she's trying to confuse people. She had access to the money. She had her own, this and her own bank card. She was just not able to access the bank portal. Two things are not the same, Amber. You had access to your money. Like, what the hell? Fucking Christ. See what I mean, you guys? This shit just pissed me off so bad because it's like, you really think people are that stupid that they're not going to pick up on what she's trying to do? She really, really thinks that little about her supporters. It's insane.
I wasn't able to see that. Well, that's just you being an idiot. This isn't you pulling one over on Beck saying, well, Beck had all the control. Beck had all the power. The only reason that Beck had all the control and Beck had all the power was because you were too lazy to take your fat ass to a bank and set it up for yourself.
Oh my God, he's saying exactly what I was screaming. That's exactly what I was screaming in my head when I was watching this. I'm like, is she for real? Is she okay? Like, this is insanity.
Much went in there, how much I got paid, unless I looked on my AdSense, which is part of YouTube, and that's how you get paid. I was never able to see any of that. And we had our own separate debit cards that were in the joint account together. Any money that Beck received would go into the same spot that my money went,
which was none.
Into, because again, it was joint. I didn't have private anything.
Like you said, girl, you were too lazy to waddle your fat ass to the bank and open up your own bank account. But she was even too lazy to just get online and to open up her own bank account. You could do that shit. She could have done that shit online. But apparently, later on, she finally, as much time as she spends online, finally did herself a service by opening up a different bank account. Whose fault is it really? Now you're blaming Beck for not being able to log into the portal. Whose fault is that? She's so infuriating.
Again, it's this is probably the one of the
you didn't have privacy because you were too lazy.
Biggest lies. It has left my jaw on the floor. All right, I don't want to accidentally show any of them.
Girl, this whole entire live stream had our jaws down on the floor. What are you talking about? Your lies have all of our jaws on the floor right now. It's been like, what, 2 days have passed, now I'm recording this? Yeah, my jaw is still on the freaking floor as I'm recording this. What are you talking about?
My other pictures. That'd be hectic. So, here we have it, where I say how much money is in the bank. So, here it says, hi, Rebecca, because this is her.
She wouldn't keep up on it from month to month. She could see how much she was getting paid every month in the YouTube studio, but she wouldn't look at the balance. So if she made $12,000 one month, $15,000 the next month, $17,000 the next month, $25,000 the next month, like, she wasn't adding up those amounts in her head. And she also wasn't looking at what she was spending. She wasn't keeping track of it. She knew there was money in there, and that's all that really mattered. But as far as knowing the balance, knowing the total, she never cared enough to look into the banking and take an initiative into her own personal finance to keep on top of that. Your laziness is not an excuse for you to, like, pin this all on Beck.
You guys, the insane thing is, she made that much money. Think about it. This girl barely ever does anything. She barely ever did anything then. Like, her outings were like going to Walmart and out to eat, of course. Those are like the highlights of her day. She barely went anything. Where did she spend the money on? That's a part that's like so baffling to me, that she blew through all that money on what exactly? I mean, aside from food. Food is a given, like, yeah. But yeah, where did the money go?
This is bullshit.
their account, literally their account right here, which we shared, but I could not get into it. So I have so many screenshots of Beck sending me screenshots of the bank because I couldn't see it.
So basically, essentially, what she's saying is that since she didn't have the login, she had to ask Beck for the balance, and Beck will send her screenshots, no, for her record keeping to show her how much money was in there. What is the point she's fucking trying to make here? Somebody explain it to me. What is her fucking point that she's trying to make here, because it doesn't make any sense? She thinks she's doing something, but really, she's not doing anything. It's like, what the fuck is she talking about?
Yeah. Okay. And I also put in my notes with that is like my mom stayed with us for like 2 months when I had cancer, and my mom saw our dynamic. And Beck, because I've talked to my mom about this, obviously, because my mom's like just as shocked as I am. My mom saw Beck had their own debit card, literally their own debit card. Like,
Okay, does she really think people are that stupid and ignorant not to understand what she's trying to say or do here? Beck never said anything about not having a debit card. Of course, Beck had the debit card. It was their bank account, you dumb bitch. Of course they would have a debit card. What is she going on and on about the debit card? Yeah, your shared account. She had the debit card. And once you moved everything and opened up your own bank account, you would give Beck your debit card so she could do errands for you as your employee. She did not have her own personal. Wait, did she? Maybe she did. Oh, wait. You're still a dumb cunt. So, yeah, she did have a debit card towards the end, some point, for that second account, that when she moved everything else into her own account. Beck was not disputing anything about the debit card account. What we're disputing here is the money you took from Beck and the money you still owe Beck. And anything like they said in the beginning, you would have known if she spent money on anything. What the heck is she talking about? See, now she's driving me insane again.
like we can say that like I was abusive and controlling because I was
And that's exactly what we're saying, in case you missed it, Amber. That is exactly what we're saying.
very controlling of their time. And I'm very, very so sorry for that. But never once have I ever been financially abusive.
Lies.
Damn it, Jody beat me to it. Yes, lies. Lies. Whole bunch of lies.
Lies. You see what she's trying to do here? She's trying to weaponize her laziness against Beck because she was too lazy to go and set up her own bank account. She had her direct deposits going into Beck's account that was already established. Well, you guys can't say that I was financially manipulative. You guys can't say that I was financially abusive because my money was going into an account that Beck had access to. That doesn't mean that Beck was spending that money. That doesn't mean that Beck was going out and buying whatever they wanted to on it.
And you know what? I can't wait for Beck's next upload to see how she addresses, how they address this whole entire bank situation, because this is a mess. This is a mess. Don't worry, Beck. We all saw right through her what she was trying to do, but I cannot wait to see and hear what Beck has to say on this whole entire matter.
Had Beck bought anything, you would have known about it. And had you had a problem with it, you would have voiced your concern about that. You guys can't say that I was financially manipulative. Yes, we can. Because you were too lazy to set up your own bank, we can't say that you were financially manipulative. Huh? Pause.
We have been equally so bad with money. That's why I have nothing to literally show for anything, because we would spend so much money, the both of us, constant. Like they were allowed to buy what they want when they wanted. Like I literally bought them a car. Like I bought them a car.
To drive you around in.
And you guys, the insane thing is, she's gonna go on and say something here that really pissed me off too. She bought herself a car that she could not drive. One, Beck's had a car with Amber's weight. I remember it's still on Beck's channel. They said Amber's side of the car, the shocks was so bad. It was that freaking bad. And Destiny has said the same thing. Amber, as a compilation that somebody made of every single time Amber killed a car or just being in a car. Like, I kid not. But they needed a car because Beck's car was done for. You know what I mean? Like, so if she wanted Beck to run her around, of course they were gonna need a car. It wasn't really to benefit Beck as much as it was to benefit herself. You understand what I'm saying?
This is like getting a personal chauffeur and then buying a car so that the personal chauffeur can drive you around in it. I bought them a car. I gave them a car. To drive you around in and get you Walmart renal failure fast food.
I'm that type of person where you guys have even seen it. You guys have seen it. You guys have called me out on my shit. I buy love. And I have gotten so much better with that, especially because like the last like 6 years of my life, 7.
Yeah, because you're not making the money that you used to. You've kind of been forced to be better about it.
Years of my life.
And also, to add to that, I also think too, people are not willing to take money from her because, I don't know, man. I could not, even on a friendship level, I don't care how much money you're giving me. I could not deal with somebody in my life like Amber. No, thank you. Keep the money. I'm good.
8 years, actually. What am I saying? Like the last like 8 years of my life, like I have bought.
I bet you what happened was as soon as Beck and her like ended their like relationship and her AdSense was no longer directly deposited into Beck's account, she probably tried to do the same thing with Jade. Well, let me just get your accounting and your routing number and I'll have my money go into your account.
And you know what? That's a good thought. I think she probably tried that. I think she realized she can control and manipulate people with money. Because look at what happened with Eric and Ricky and the friendship with Beck. All because of the money. They went where the money was at. I think she learned that very early on, that a lot of people are for sale. You know what I mean? Like, she learned that really, really quick.
It's kind of like the concept of like leaving a toothbrush at someone's house, thinking that if like you leave a part of you somewhere, it's like you have like a belonging there. Well, my money's going into their account. Jade was probably smart enough to realize what she was trying to do and said, "No, you go and open up your own bank account. I'm not sharing bank accounts with you. Go and set up your own one. I'll take you to the bank. We'll go together. You just have to talk to a representative for 10 minutes. It won't be a big deal." Wherewithal to realize that that was not a good idea.
And also, you guys, I learned something. I learned that apparently before Amber got with Jade, Jade used to be in Amber's live stream. So she saw the dynamic. Like I said in my previous video on Amber, Jade saw the dynamic. Jade saw a bag. And she went after Amber to get her bag. But she was smart enough not to get the finances entangled. So keep that in mind. So since Jade has told Amber for her to stop talking about her, you guys, what if Jade comes out of a channel to like, yeah, I have a lot of stuff to say to myself. Can you guys imagine? Oh, that would be so delicious.
People with money. I have bought love. I have bought friendships. I have bought laughter. I have bought time with people because of money.
Wednesday Adams, you did that because even you yourself, you recognized, you yourself, people were not willing just to hang out with you. You recognized that. You knew you had to use the money for people to be willing to be around you. So look at yourself really, really look at yourself why that is.
And that's how it's always been. I have never been a greedy person when it comes to money. It's almost like
This is a bunch of lies. If you're never that greedy of a person, why did you take Beck's inheritance? If you're never that greedy of a person, why did you get pissed off that Casey at 17 years old got birthday money and you didn't want them spending the money on stuff that they wanted so they could spend it on you? Why is it that when you're living with Crystal, you went there with no money, but somehow miraculously everything that Crystal had was ours, our money, our stuff? It's like, no, ho, that's Crystal stuff, Crystal's money. Miss me with that bullshit, honey. Miss me with that bullshit.
got a kick out of giving people money and like going on shopping sprees and like doing all these sorts of things. So it's like, what? I don't know. Speechless.
Girl, you're speechless. I was speechless through this whole entire live stream. It was absolutely insane. So she went on to accuse Beck of more stuff. Of course she did. And then she was bringing in other side characters into this nonsense that have nothing to do with this side character, like Dana. I agree with her about something. I'm like, girl, Dana was just agreeing with you because she needed her rent paid, ho. Come on, get with the program. You just said you had to buy people. How are you not recognizing this? She said a lot of stuff in this live stream. It was too much. I was literally punching the air. It was too much. And yeah, I had to use somebody for a buffer for this reaction because I was so pissed off just sitting there listening to her. It's like, I need a little bit of a buffer in between there. But yeah, I'm going to cut it off here. You guys know Jordy's channel. I'll link it in the description. If you don't know Jordy's channel, I don't know what to tell you, but I'll link it in the description below. And I'm going to cut it off here. And yeah, that was the main part I wanted to hone in on. There's so many parts in that live stream I would love to pick apart. But eventually down the road, I'll go back in the live stream myself and pick out the parts that I really, really wanted to focus on. And I'm just waiting to see if Beck is going to respond to this, or maybe she did. I wasn't really online at all much yesterday, so I took a break. So I will check and see what I am behind on. But yeah, you guys, other than that, thank you so much for watching the channel. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I will catch you in the next video. Later. Bye-bye.